Today, we're going to be talking about the battle of all battles. We're talking about the CST versus NCCT. But to clarify that, we're talking about NBSTSA versus the NCCT. These are two credentialing agencies in the surgical tech community. This is important information. Keep watching. Welcome back to another Surgical Tech Tips video. Thank you for stopping by. Great to have you here. And today we are going to be going over the differences of two certifying agencies in our field of surgical technology. I want to preface this with, I'm not trying to choose sides here. I'm not saying, I don't want to say one is better than the other because I don't want to offend anybody that may have one or the other certification, but I'm just here to give facts, and the facts are the facts. So take with it what you will. NBSTSA, and that is the National Board of Surgical Technology and Surgical Assisting, and there is the NCCT, and that is the National Center for Competency Testing. Both of these agencies they're very similar in their goal, and their goal is to it's to certify students and certify techs out there to ensure that they have the proper education and the proper skills necessary for quality patient care out there in the world. They both have that goal. Now, we'll go over the differences of both of them because there are some pretty big differences that I'll be sharing with you guys. So let's start off with the CST. The CST is the Certified Surgical Technologist, and that title is given by the accreditation company called the NBSTSA. I'm sorry, there's going to be a ton of acronyms in this video, but it's crazy. There's acronyms everywhere. So the NBSTSA stands for the National Board of Surgical Technology and Surgical Assisting. They are a nationally recognized accreditation company and agency, basically. They partner with the American College of Surgeons, and all of that started back in like the 1980s. I think it was like 87 or something like that. So they've been around for a while, and they've been a certifying agency for a while. Now, I say they're nationally recognized. So wherever you go in the entire, I know US for sure, and I know they're a globally based accreditation agency. I just don't know if they are, if it's that big of a deal in other countries. I don't know that. But in the US specifically, as far as I know, the NBSTSA certification is nationally recognized across the US at any and all hospitals. So that's a big point. So I want to start off with some of the requirements that you'll need to even be eligible and able to sit for that NBSTSA certification exam. So it starts off, you have to go to a surgical technology school. And it's not just any school. This school has to be CAHEP or ABHES or ABHES approved. Now, those two acronym agencies are basically put in place to make sure and check up on your school's program periodically to make sure that they're teaching you the right way, that they're teaching you the right skills. It's basically like Big Brother coming into your schools and ensuring that those teachers and that facility is quality education that you're receiving. That to me is very important. You know, you're throwing out all this money.
Take my money.
Or not throwing it out, but you're putting out all this money forward to get an education. You want to make sure that you're getting quality education, and going to one of those schools that's accredited by CAHEP or ABHES ensures that you're getting a quality education and that you will be able to sit for that certification exam by the NBSTSA after you're done with your school. So there are other ways to be able to sit for the exam. If you end up not going through a school that it has that accreditation, you can still sit for the exam, just not right away. You may have to take some extra classes or something like that just to get your skills and to get your education up to that point that the NBSTSA requires you to be at. So the second certifying agency is the National Center for Competency Testing, NCCT. And if you get certified through them, you have the acronym title of TS-C, which is basically Certified Tech in Surgery. Why they're different, I don't know. So we have NBSTSA as a CST, and we have NCCT as a TS-C. Pretty weird. It says national in the title, but I know for a fact that it is not a nationally recognized credential, and it's not a nationally recognized certification. It sucks. That really sucks. It's very situational, and it really depends on your geological location in the US as to where and you'll be able to actually use that certification. There are hospitals across the country that do not recognize it as a certified, they do not recognize the certification. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but it's true, and I've seen it firsthand. There's a girl that started working at our hospital probably about 5 years ago, came from Arkansas. She had her NCCT. She does not get the certification raise because of that. She was still able to get the position, and now that sadly that's blocked off, and our hospital only employs CSTs that are certified through the NBSTSA. That's a big point to think about. Big point to think about. Now let's talk about the requirements to get certified through the NCCT. Graduation or graduate of a surgical technology program. I did not read anywhere on their website that they require an accredited program. So this could be any surgical technology program, essentially. The only reason I don't like that is because you don't know what education you're going to get. You don't have a governing body like the KHEP or the ABHES that is going to your school ensuring that you're getting a proper education. So that right there, that's one strike for me. That's a big deal. I mean, you want to make sure that you're getting a good education. So as a requirement for the NCCT, it's just going to a surgical technology school, any kind of school. On top of the schooling, and after you graduate, you are required to fill out a skills and competency form before you're able to sit for their exam. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a really good idea, actually. Everybody gets, a packet or something like that, just to ensure that everybody that's about to take the test, just to ensure, you have the proper skills and you have the competency to take this test. So that right there is a great idea. Continuing education credits. I was surprised that there was actually a big difference in this when I looked it up. I did not know much about the NCCT. I know because I'm certified through the NBSTSA. But I found out that through the NCCT, they require you to re-up your certification every single year. So it's an annual re-up, and you're required, if you have one certification, you are required to complete 14 continuing education credits. If you've never been in the hospital field or anything like that, continuing education credits are basically, little webinars and it may be like a paragraph or well, more than a paragraph, more like a study, like a medical study or something like that you'll have to read through, answer some questions, get all that right, and you'll be awarded, a couple continuing education credits. So essentially, you have to complete 14 credits every single year, as well as pay them, a $100 fee or something like that to submit all of your continuing education credits. I don't know for sure if they make you pay for your CE credits online. I know the NCCT offers CE credits and webinars and stuff like that right through their website for all of those certified techs out there. Certified tech in surgery, sorry. And that's great. And that's fantastic. And you can also, in your own line of work, there's multiple occasions where we have CE credit opportunities. Reps come in and they want to teach you about something, and they award you with, this little certificate that says you sat through a class or you sat through a talk, and you're awarded, 4 CE credits or whatever. You get that all the time. So that's great. And I actually kind of like the idea of re-upping every year. That ensures that you have to keep up on your education and keep everything fresh in your mind and keep up with, all the up-to-date medical advances that are happening. So I think re-upping on your continuing education credits every year is actually a really good idea. So kudos to you, NCCT. So continuing education credits for the NBSTSA. That is different. That you have to you're required to re-up every 4 years. So interesting. They require you to have 60 credits as a CST. You're required to complete 60 continuing education credits every 4 years. So you could do that over the span of 4 years, gathering up, 12 or so credits every year. Or you could wait, the last year, which probably 99% of the CSTs out there do. They wait until they're at their 3rd year. They got a year left until they have to re-up, and they start busting out all 60 of their credits as fast as they can. If you're smart about it, you can definitely take your time, and those little certificates that you get at work, you can submit those in periodically whenever you get those. So the NBSTSA, they also offer you credits online, continuing education credits online. They do cost a fee. It's much easier to do it that way rather than using like a third-party website or something like that. I know when I re-upped my certification as a tech, I just went straight through their website and, straight through the AST website, and I just completed all my education credits then. I think it was like $300-something. It's a big chunk of change, but it is what it is. But yeah, so every 4 years, that's actually something I don't really like about the NBSTSA and re-upping on that certification. I feel like it should have been a smaller window. It lets people get too kind of nonchalant about the whole thing and just forget about education, which really shouldn't be like that at all. We should always be trying to better ourselves and always, be trying to learn more and to see all those new medical advances. So every 4 years, 60 credits every 4 years is what it is. So the education requirements and the continuing education requirements were basically the main big differences that I could find about the two certifying agencies. But the biggest one for me just comes back to the fact that the NBSTSA certification is nationally recognized. Any hospital you go to across America, across the country, is going to recognize that certification. And I can't say the same for the NCCT. Going through school, or even if you're thinking about going through a surgical technology school, ensure that it is an accredited program by KHEP or ABHES. That just ensures that you, the student, are getting the proper education that you are paying for. And that is so important, absolutely important. So my final thoughts, the NBSTSA certification. You could literally go anywhere across the US with that certification. You will be limited with the Ncct certification. Why limit yourself? Why limit your education, and why limit your opportunities? Go for what's going to give you the most out of the job. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you again on the next Surgical Tech Tips video. See ya. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again on the next tip. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again on the next Surgical Tips.